Hey, welcome to another episode of the Miami Comedy Podcast. I'm Manny Garavito, your host, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the nuances of mango season in the city of Miami. Now, some private properties, have the luxury of having a naturally growing mango tree in the front or backyard. And since we love that fruit so much, some of us are willing to risk it all and just have a taste of that sweet, sweet mango hanging oh so ripely in someone's private property. Now, you're gonna have to ask yourself, are you willing to risk it all for the taste of that fruit? Some people will say yes. And there's two things to consider if you are this kind of person. Number one, we live in Florida, and this state loves to stand their ground. And number two, we live in Miami, Florida, which is a city that loves to look out the window and snitch. Now, let's look at that first risk. We live in the state that is shaped like a gun. That should already tell you enough. And we're the kind of people that have guns in our homes just waiting for the right moment. And all we need is just a suspicion when it comes to someone in our properties. You see it all the time. Florida man pulls out gun, Florida man shoots this, Florida man shoots that. And it's really part of our culture in the state of Florida. Now, unfortunately, a mango tree, even though it's God's fruit, something that God has given humanity to enjoy, can be growing in someone's property, and that someone could be armed, waiting for the right opportunity. My point is that people that own mango trees can see it as a way to use the weapons that are just collecting dust in their homes. They're hoping, no, better yet, they are praying for the opportunity to dust that thing off and aim it your way while you're grabbing some of that sweet, sweet nectar on the top of their tree. Now, let's look at the second risk of wanting to climb that mango tree. Now, let's say you think the coast is clear and no one is looking at you while you're going to go and grab a ripe mango hanging from someone's tree. I can assure you that somebody's grandma is looking out the window and watching you commit this atrocious crime. And they will either A, call the police, B, call the person that owns the house, or C, do both. And then when the police arrive, they're not even going to step outside to get the credit for the one placing the call. They're going to be inside calling more people, letting them know that there's police officers outside of their home because somebody was in private property. Why watch a soap opera when you can be in one? You know, it really is a shame the way we treat mangoes around here, now that I think about it. Mangoes are best when they're picked from its natural glory. Not so much at a grocery store. The fun of getting a mango is the fact that you found one. Going to a grocery store and buying a mango just seems so off. Seeing one in the wild is way more rewarding. You know what Miami should do? It should implement a holiday where you can go out and pick mangoes anywhere you want. Just one day for 24 hours. It'll be like the purge. All mangoes should be fair game. I think anyone should go and be able to pick the fruit. I mean, think about your blessing. It's in abundance, man. That's the fruit of God. God gave you the opportunity for you to have that tree. Why not share it with someone? Back in the day, we used to ask our neighbors for sugar. If you get caught, that's probably what you should say. It's not that big of a deal for somebody to grab some fruit in your property, especially if it falls off. Fine, I understand you don't want someone to climb your tree. Okay, understood. It looks a little weird anyway. You're not really sure if they're building a tree house or picking a mango. I get it. But if it falls off the tree and someone jumps over your fence just to grab it, is it really that big of a deal? I even look at the Ring app and people are on there talking about, oh, this person climbed over my fence to grab this mango he saw. It's so, let him. Didn't God say feed the hungry? Look at that. You didn't even have to go out of your way. It was all done passively for you. I can also look at it the other way. If you own a mango tree, the responsibility you have can actually work against you. Let's say if you allow somebody to climb your mango tree and when they pick the fruit, they slip and fall. They fall off the tree, they bop their head on the roots or on the floor. Knowing how Miami likes to sue for slip and falls, are you liable if you allow it? I take it all back. As a matter of fact, every single thing I said about this podcast, I take it all back because knowing the attorneys of Miami, they would probably come up with a really good angle and say something like, my client slipped and fell in someone's private property and the person allowed them to climb the tree to grab the mango. That's it for the podcast. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on socials. And don't forget to come out to a comedy show. Visit MiamiComedy.com. I'll see you on the next episode.